Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast, and welcome back to this two-part series. We are in part number 2. We're talking about the light side of the light chasers. And if you're new to the show, welcome. Hi, my name is Talia Joy. I am a life coach, a spiritual guide, transformation junkie, and basically the mentor in your corner, helping you to combine the life transformation, the spiritual awareness, the higher consciousness, the self-growth, and really blend all of that with real life, really moving forward. So you can call it transformation, manifestation, going after your goals, creating the life that you're meant for. Whatever way you say it, we are here to make it tangible, to move you forward episode by episode, and that's really what we're doing. So I'm really excited to dive into this. So the previous one, part 1, was the dark side of the light chasers and talking about the loops that we can get into and the struggles that we can have as somebody who is always wanting growth, wanting a better life, wanting to really step into that fuller expression and live in abundance and live in purpose and joy and freedom and all of that, right? That self-growth, that transformation, that better life. So we talked about the downside to that, the parts that can be struggles, the loops we can get into of sometimes never feeling like we're there or always feeling like we need to heal more, etc., right? So if you listen to that, you know what I'm talking about. And this is part 2. So instead of the traps that we fall into, the not yet there loops, we're talking about the flip side, the light side, your light side. The gifts, the depth, the magic that you carry that sometimes you might forget you have in the endless quest to, get better and all of that we talked about. But part 1 is that shadow. Part 2 is the light side. And I really want you to hear me when I say this, that you're not chasing the light. You're not healing yourself, fixing yourself, improving yourself because you're broken. You are seeking the light because you are the light. Because you're here for a life of growth and transformation and making an impact and overcoming things and rising and phoenix energy. You know what I'm talking about. And so you seek light because you're remembering you are light and you're meant for this. So that's what we're going to get into in this episode. I don't have a lot to say other than if you would please leave me a review on your podcast app, it would be much appreciated. It goes farther than you know in the algorithm world. Likes or comments or reviews, they really do go far. It's things you can do to truly support businesses that you enjoy and people that you want to support. So I would be honored if you would do that for the Awakening Her podcast. And I wanted to say too, just as a side note, I'm booking, we talked about update episodes just a few back and what's coming for the show and all of that. And I talked about getting more guests on the show because I've taken a break from guest episodes for about a year. But we are booking guests now. I've got some exciting episodes in the queue. I've got some interviews coming up that I'm so excited about and ready to bring to you guys. So in the next couple months, you can expect guest episodes again, and I am so excited. So with that being said, let's just dive into part 2, the light side of being a light chaser. Take a deep breath, take a sip of water, drop your shoulders, and let's do this. Okay, so I want to start by saying you're built differently. And I say that with a laugh and with my hand up, me too. And what I mean by that is you are not just somebody who sleepwalks through life. You literally would not be here pressing play on a show like this if you were someone who was asleep. You've been through a lot. You've in some ways been, I don't want to say brainwashed, but told that maybe this is how life is, or you are a certain way, or people are a certain way, or you'll never do this, or these are the ways that you're broken. And you've been told these things, but you have continued to be scrappy, to overcome, to go to counseling, therapy, inner work, self-growth, reading the books, maybe studying with mentors, or meditating on things, or doing courses, or whatever it is that you've done. You are not somebody who shrugs and go, well, I guess it's just who I am, or I guess I just have to settle, right? No, we are scrappy. We are rebel souls. We are here and hungry for the light, for a better life. We, in some ways, expect greatness from ourselves in this lifetime because we know deep down that we are meant for it, right? So you're somebody that almost, it's like, I want to say your life force pulses with like possibility, the thought of overcoming, of greener pastures, of creating a business, of creating abundance or freedom or health or moving through this or moving past that. That gives you something deep inside that not everybody has. A person like you doesn't just look at life, as I said, and go, well, I guess this is what it is, when you don't like it or when it's something that you desire to change. Instead, you think, there's more to this. There's more to me. There's more to life. There is something more. I know that I can feel it. And there are places in your life, maybe it's starting a business or finding love or overcoming odds or healing something, where people go like, oh, I don't know, medically, that can't be healed. Or someone, because of the economy, the odds are stacked against you. And there's ways where people will try to be like, I don't know. And you just go, like, I want to say 2 fingers up, but don't 2 finger up. You're like your grandma, your aunt, or whoever's telling you that. But, our souls just go, whatever. That's your story. That's not my story. I am here for growth and I'm hungry for it. There's something here. There's more to this. And that is a sign of an old soul. So your something more to this might be your drive to help people. So you want to create an organization or a business or write books or get on stages or whatever it is, because you've gone through so much, and that pain can't be for nothing. It must be, or a part of it is to turn around and help others. And you may feel this by helping your children. You may feel this in your community when you radiate the empathy because of what you've been through. So whether you see yourself making a worldwide impact, a community impact, it just in your family, in your friend circle, in your, the people around you, maybe in your workplace, this is part of what you're meant for. This is part of the beautiful light of who you are. And it is a sign of an old soul. It's often a sign of a starseed, but whether you know that or not, or believe in that or not, it doesn't really matter. You came here with a purpose. And you can feel that. We can all agree on that, right? And you came here to actually do something. And I don't mean actually do like some sort of like you came to actually build a business or something. I actually more, you're not just wandering around life. Like I'm seeing, like you're not just wandering around, like a Target store browsing in life. You're here to make something of yourself with inner growth and transformation, here to go through a radical butterfly-like transformation, and then to affect the people around you. You're not wandering around blind. You're here to create something. You're wired for transformation. You're wired for wisdom, right? For growth. I know in my like real physical life, someone will say something like, oh yeah, something the weather. And my mind always goes like, isn't it neat how, it rains now, but that's why the forests are lush. And you're probably someone like that, where you hear someone speaking and you're like, ooh, I can hear the scarcity, or maybe the sun is rising and like metaphors are flooding through you, or you look back and you can have this perspective and this learning on the things you've been through and the things that now you're not going to be in the same situation again. Whatever it is, it's that wisdom, it's that reflection, it's that something more, growth, being hungry for transformation. So you're wired to be someone who genuinely, as I'm saying, influences the people around you, whether it's your mailman, whether it's the people at the bank, the community members around you, your kids' moms, or, friends you meet through the community, or maybe it is worldwide or online or whatever it is. This is your presence. This is your depth. This is your heart. This is your wisdom that is born through what you've been through. What you've been through, what you've already walked through has been a catalyst for you to quote unquote get better or face the light or create something different, which then inspires others. So yes, you may have been certified in something along the way. You may have, created a specific pathway for yourself to help others by being a therapist or being a healer or whatever it is. But even beyond your job, you are here to help people with your depth, with your heart, with your experience. That is the mega light side, okay? Like that is the bigger part of it, where I would look at you and just say, thank you for being here. I acknowledge your path. Because the fact that you have been through so much and continue to be scrappy and always want to find a better, find the light, that's admirable. That's inspiring. So I'm going to talk about here 10 different, as I was writing it all out, it happened to be 10. And I don't know, think I'm going to just go like 1, 2, 3, but I want to talk about the different light sides. So before I was doing this episode, when I was mapping it all out, I was thinking about and writing down all those positive sides to being someone like this. I channel that energy of the type of people my clients are, the type of person I am, the type of person I know that you are, and really extracting these positive, beautiful sides that you need to be aware of so that you can weave them into your real life. And I feel like by going through these, you're also, by the end of this episode, going to go, holy shit, I really am built for this. I really am a light worker. I really, like, it's going to fuel you in your soul, I hope. So the first one is something I just touched on, but it's the gift of your depth. So feeling things deeply, sensing things that other people may not pick up on, or just sensing things that people may be needing, or their emotions or their pain. You see often the pattern behind people, or the stuff that people don't even realize they're saying or don't even realize they're doing. Sometimes you might notice that somebody's off and just say the right thing. That depth, that empathy is an absolute gift, right? This is where your intuition lives. This is where your insight comes from. Your depth, even if it's your sensitivity, maybe you're an empath, either way, the depth that you carry behind your eyes, the way you feel for others, is a gift on this earth. And that alone is the gift of light. And that alone is something that can be a superpower, whether you have a business or not, whether you have, it doesn't really matter. It's a depth. And let's just be aware, I'm probably going to say this with all the points, but do you think the world needs depth right now? Do you feel like with what everything that's going on in the world, whether it's politically or just all the stuff that's happening, don't you feel like we need more depth? Like we need more people sensing and feeling into other people, right? Like empathy, like awareness, compassion, being aware of how this could affect this person, not just me, right? That depth is a gift, and that is what the world needs. So the next one is a light side of being who you are, is that your self-awareness is not normal in the best way. And I know you know this because I'm sure in your family, you may be the black sheep or you may be the witchy one or whatever. But even in your, like maybe your biological family or your friends and family, your work family, whatever, not everybody is so self-aware. And it may feel normal for you because you say, like, I've been like this since I was a kid, but it's not normal out in the world. And that is the best thing possible because most people don't think about their thoughts. Most people aren't aware of their ego. They're not aware of slipping into lack, or they're not aware of like, wow, why did I react that way? That was quite a trigger. Your self-awareness is a gift. You observe, you reflect, you maybe wake up at 3 a.m. mid-breakthrough going like, oh my gosh, that's what that was, or that's why I did that, right? That level of awareness is rare. And let's go back to the world. Don't you feel like the world needs more self-awareness, more CEOs, more leaders of countries, more leaders of big companies, more teachers, more parents, more, doctors who are self-aware? Everybody. That would be beautiful if every person was more self-aware or even half as self-aware as you were. But of course, that's not the case. Not everybody's an old soul. Not everybody's meant for this same path. That's okay, but you are. So this is why you grow. This is why you have overcome things. And even if you feel like sometimes your growth is slow, it's actually quite fast. When you look back at the last year, when you look back at the last 5 years, when you look back at 10 years ago, a lot of what got you out of it was your self-awareness, you becoming aware of like, whoa, this thing isn't healthy, or I deserve more, or why do I always people please, or why have I, you've gone through that self-awareness in order to grow through what you go through and move on. So your self-awareness is a massive light side of who you are. You also have a drive to evolve, right? And this is built into what I'm talking about, but you're not someone who stays stagnant, who goes like, well, that's all there is to this, right? You're always about new levels, new versions, new understanding, new perspective, which, to go back to the dark side, we can sometimes get trapped in, yes, but that natural drive to evolve, it's like you're allowing yourself to go along with life the way it was intended. So I'm getting some intuitive messages here. Like I'm seeing the spiral and also like the seasons. So when we allow ourselves to evolve, we are going with life. That's what transformation is. That's what self-growth is. Even if I say, wow, you've really evolved in the last few years, right? Evolve. That's what we are meant to do. As humans, we've evolved. As I said, the seasons evolve and one blends into the other and one leads in. We need to allow ourselves to do that. So as you have that thirst for understanding and new perspectives and, understanding that and, changing up that and being aware, right? Like we just talked about of maybe habits and desiring to shift them, that is you evolving. And I know that in a less pleasant example, when life kicks you on your ass, maybe gives you a big fat roadblock, you somehow get back up and go like, okay, what was the lesson here? What am I meant to learn, right? That's resilience. That is light chaser energy, and you have a natural drive to evolve. Let's bring it back. Does the world not need people who are willing to evolve? Oh my goodness, right? You think of people in relationships, people who are parents, people, again, CEOs, leaders of country, people who have a ton of money or a ton of power in this life, or people doing charities, people, that are teachers, parents, whatever. If we could allow ourselves to evolve and people would become more aware, right? More, whatever you want to say, higher consciousness, whatever. So it's a gift. Having that natural drive to evolve does mean that you don't stay stuck and stagnant for long. Even if you feel like this whole year I've been stuck, when you zoom out and look at your whole life, you have a natural scrappiness to evolve. And I see that in you. Me too. This is light chaser energy, but it's also okay, how do I phrase this? You becoming aware of your soul's nudge to like that it's safe to evolve. So your soul knows that that's your path to greatness / manifestation / abundance, purpose, all that stuff. So when you allow yourself to evolve, you allow yourself to go with the natural evolution, which is you actually remembering more of your soul's message of unlimited possibilities, or being on your soul's path, you could say, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's a gift. You are incredible, and I see that in you. It's not always easy. The next one is your empathy, as we've already touched on, but I just want to say that being somebody who is a light chaser, who is chances are an old soul, here for more, all that, sometimes we are sensitive and empathetic. You might call yourself an empath or an HSP, or you feel things deeply, whatever, if you resonate with a label like empath, or you just feel things deeply. You can feel other people's emotions. You care about people deeply. You care about animals, the planet, these types of things, and it's deep for you. This empathy can be used or be framed like it's a weakness. But it is absolutely not. It is what makes you magnetic. It is what makes people feel safe with you. It is why you are here to make a difference in the lives of the people around you. It's how you are going to make a difference in the lives of the people around you. People feel seen by you. They feel understood by you. They feel like you care because you do. And that is a gift. Empathy is light, it's heart, it's love, and you radiate it. So yes, we need to have, boundaries and be aware of our energetic frame and all these things that I also talk about. But in general, couldn't we use an earth with more empathetic people, more people who cared about other people, right? So your empathy, or even the soft side of you, the heart side of you, the emotion side of you, it is never a weakness. It is never a weakness. It is a gift, and it is what we need more of, and it is part of how you make a difference in the people or in the lives of the people around you. So the next thing of being a light worker that's really positive is that you hold wisdom beyond your years. So you may have been told like you're an old soul, or you're wise for your age, or like me, I was literally 14 reading Wayne Dyer. I would read astrology books. I'd read about the law of attraction long before The Secret came out, and it's almost like an ancient wisdom. I could see patterns in life. I could sense what people were thinking, hear what people were thinking. Sometimes it's not scary, it's not freaky. It's actually, it's kind of freaky. But I would have this wisdom and reflections. And even when I was really struggling since I was, a kid, but even more mental health struggling, like really hating myself in the beginning of the eating disorder, when I was a teenager and in my 20s, I would be suffering, but I could give you the best advice in the world. And so if you can relate to that, where sometimes like the things that come out of you and the advice you can give, even if you as a human are still walking your path and sometimes it's wobbly and you're like, man, I need to take that advice. That is part of being the light. That's old soul energy. That's been here, done that before. That's ancient reflections embedded into your soul type energy. It's your blueprint. It's again part of how you make a difference in the world. So being a light worker and a light chaser and being here for growth and evolution, you hold a lot of wisdom from the things you've learned in this physical life, from probably all the counseling and the therapy and the courses and the books and all the stuff. You hold a lot of wisdom. And then there's also wisdom from from your soul, from previous lifetimes, and from maybe even your starseed energy of what you're really here to do. You hold wisdom beyond how old you are. And that is something that you've always had. And this is why people trust you. And this is why you can help people so beautifully. So think about it. If everybody on this earth had ancient wisdom behind their eyes, imagine if people thought about life from a high consciousness, ancient wisdom type perspective, no matter where they're pulling the wisdom from, whether it's from Jesus or, from a religion or from the earth or from just deep in their soul. Imagine if everybody had that, or if more people had ancient wisdom. Like that's where we start moving toward world peace for real, right? Anyway, so this wisdom is powerful and it's part of your light. The next part of the light side of being a light chaser is that you do have that natural desire to help others. And it's not from savior energy or not from having to fix others, especially as you evolve in your path. You realize that you're guiding others, you're loving others, even if it's through therapy or being a teacher, being a therapist or a teacher. Sometimes you're not saying, I love you if it's inappropriate, but it's your heart, it's your empathy, it's your connection, it's your purpose, it's your drive to help others. That's that natural desire to help others. So whether you have a conventional job or you're rogue as an entrepreneur on your own, carving your own path, or you're starting charities or you're in your community, whatever it is, it's that natural desire to help others because let's face it, either in this life or in previous lives, you know what it's like to struggle. And if you can help others not struggle as much, if you can help save somebody time or help them to, find their purpose or get sober or start their business or whatever it is, if you could help one person, if you can help multiple people, that really truly brings you purpose. And that is such a beautiful part of being somebody who is fixated on the light, who is a light worker, a light chaser, a light bringer, is you help others from love, from caring, from empathy, and helping others probably feels like breathing to you. Because whether it's your kids or your friends or the people around you, it's who you are. It's what you already do, right? Whether you have a business or not. So that is beautiful. And could you imagine a world where there were more leaders and politicians and doctors and, mechanics and whoever else that have a desire, a true desire just to help others, to serve, not from fixing, not from, being a dictator, but from love, from connection, from purpose. And this has you hold guide energy. You hold space naturally, and people come to you because of this energy. So another beautiful light side of this is that you crave meaning. So I did an Instagram reel. It was a while ago now, it's months ago, but the text on the screen said, old soul problems, that small talk feels like a slow death. And sometimes surface level stuff, surface level friends, surface level connections, surface level conversation might make you want to put a fork in your eye like it does for me. So you're not here for surface level. You are here for heart level, purpose level, deep level, other perspective level, soul level, whatever it is, you are here for more. It's like I'm seeing the iceberg in my mind's eye, where below the surface is what you're here for, and what you see on the top is just the tippy top. When we're just talking about the weather, or we just have this little superficial thing in common or whatever, it's not going to do it. So you are definitely here for depth, purpose level, soul deep level stuff. And this is the path or the quest for meaning, for finding meaning in this life, for finding meaning in this day, in this conversation, in this present moment. And this is a beautiful light side of you because you are going to love deep. You are going to be loyal to the people around you. You are, even if you have less friends, they're going to be more depth filled. Even if sometimes I feel like the weirdo awkwardly in the corner at a social gathering, when I'm with my friends, when I'm with the people who either look to me for help or the people I'm genuinely talking to, the people that we're going deep, we're going meaningful, we're going empathetic. We are not surface level. And that is an absolute gift. That pursuit for meaning means a life of depth. And that is a beautiful thing. Imagine if the leaders of the world, the people on your block, the people teaching your kids were here craving meaning, craving depth. That would be a beautiful world. And the last one that I want to talk about is just the fact that you are a light bringer, okay? Your humor, the way you see the world, your depth, as we've talked about, your scrappiness, as we've talked about, your capacity for transformation, your presence in general lifts people up. You make people smile. You want to bring a different perspective. You want to lighten the load. You want to be an ear. You want to be there for other people. You are a light bringer. Through your art or your music or your humor or your creativity or your coaching or the position you hold at a company, the people you talk to, the children in your life, whoever it is, you are a light bringer and you bring light and it lifts people up. It softens people. It wakes people up. It has people want to come along on the path. You're not trying to be the light, you just are. And remember the quote that I love to say, the lighthouse doesn't run around the island looking for boats to save. It just is the light. And that's what you are. You don't have to run around looking for your purpose or looking for the one way you can express it. Of course, that's fun and we create businesses and it's great to get clarity, but we're talking deeper here. Being the light is who you are. Bringing that into this moment, into your trip to the grocery store, into the way that you're navigating with your everyday people in your everyday life. This is who you are. Being the light in the everyday moments, being the light with yourself. Okay, that might be part of the next step, is being that light bringer that brings that light to yourself, that lifts you up, that offers yourself a new perspective, that offers yourself depth and empathy and compassion. Because the more you fill up your cup from the inside, the more you fill up that cup of light, it spills over and makes an impact in your community, in the world. And you are a natural light bringer. And I want you to think about how the lighthouse doesn't run around the island looking for boats to save, right? It just stands there and shines. That is the point. You don't have to chase the light. You don't have to chase your purpose. You don't even have to become better from here. You being you is the light. You are the gift. Grounded, intentional, empathetic, open, heart-led, scrappy, hilarious. That is the light. Your job is to be it. You already are the light. Anchor into it. Live from it. Lead yourself into your next level with the light, not through fixing, chasing, and trying to figure it all out and trying to heal yourself forever. You already are the light. All of these things we've gone through today that we've talked about, I know almost all of them, if not all of them, you've gone, yep. It proves, science, it proves you already are the light. So when you get pulled back into fixing, to go to part 1, because we do that, we want growth, we're scrappy, it means a lot to us that we're moving forward, that we are fulfilling our purpose, and that's why we can get roped into, gotta figure it out, hustle. It's totally normal. It's because it means a lot to us. It's because we truly are, in fact, here for big things. But when we get pulled back into that, and we start to hear in our mind or start to say to ourselves, or we start to think, I should be further along, I should be doing more, I should be healed by now, I should know better, I should be out of this pattern, oh my God, another year, and I should have, blah, blah, blah. Stop shitting on yourself, because that pressure, it's not light, it's not hot, it's not the vibe, it's not, existentially sexy. The pressure is fear. Remember, ego in a spiritual hoodie. That pressure is fear trying to mask itself as growth. And I want you to remember that. You cannot hustle your way into ease. You cannot push your way into flow. You cannot force your way into your light or your path or your purpose. You are here to embody it right now. Not later, not after you make another list and check 5 more boxes and do another course, not after you fix the next thing that must be blocking you. Like, I'm not even kidding. I know that it sounds ironic because I'm here for growth and let's look at blocks and yeah, but there's a moment that comes when we have to realize we are the light. The light is already in you. The desires you have on your mind's eye of maybe it's days of ease and cooking nourishing meals, or maybe it's traveling the world, or maybe it's a family or a huge organization, or making a difference halfway across the world, or whatever it is for you, that is meant for you. Those visions and those dreams and that desire to help the people around you to just create a beautiful life and be generous and have fun and feel free, that is meant for you. And you don't have to fix anything else to start being it. So here's what I want you to leave with at the end of these 2 parts. You are a powerful force. And you're attracted or you've been magnetized to this podcast, whether it's the first time or you've been coming for years, because I see that in you and you see that in you. And you get fueled up when somebody else gets it, right? Because you are a powerful force. You are here for the things you see in your mind's eye. You're here for a lifetime of evolution, of meaning, of transformation, of growth, of contribution. You're here to uplift others simply by living your life with intention, with heart, with aspirations, simply by living in that light, simply by living in that possibility. You uplift others. I want you to think of a candle, and I want you to picture yourself in a room with a lit candle. You're holding it old school, not LED. Other people come into the room and they have candles that are not lit. And you go around and one by one take your candle and light the other people's candles. Does that take anything from your flame? No, it just duplicates. It doesn't take anything from you. You spread the light and you ignite somebody else's flame. And now when they go into their life and people are walking around with unlit candles, they can share their light and it multiplies and multiplies and multiplies and nobody loses. That is what you are here for. It's woven into who you are. And as you walk forward, if you notice yourself slipping into pressure or fixing or perfectionism or second guessing or whatever, just pause, go to nature, touch a tree, thank me later, but pause, breathe, and come back to the lighthouse. Come back to looking after yourself to reignite and re-remember that light. And from that place is where we act. And maybe we come across a coach or someone that gives us a plan and we try some things and some things work and some things don't, but we're being the light. So we're going to continue evolving. We're not going to shame ourselves and we're not going to have to, start back at square one. And we're just going to keep going, keep evolving from light, because some things work and some things don't. And sometimes we're let down and sometimes we speed ahead and, sometimes life is great and sometimes it's challenging, but you can still be the light no matter what. To yourself, to the people around you. It is literally what you're meant for. So your work now is to simply be the light. Not someday, right now. Roll your shoulders back. Right now, I'm watching. Just kidding. Take a deep breath. And a couple tangible ways that you can, quote unquote, be the light to try to bring it down to the ground before we go. Come back into your body. When things start happening, when we get caught up in the day, put your hand on your chest, put your hand on your heart, breathe, slow down. Light lives inside you. It lives inside presence. So doing some somatic practices or just simply breathing or just slowing down and come back to the inside. Come back to your inner flicker. Another thing you can do is do something soulful and nourishing for yourself. Not to fix yourself, not for a big end result, but just to honor your energy. So is honoring yourself going to yoga, Is it having a bath in the day? Is it investing in yourself? Is it going for a walk? Is it making a nourishing soup filled with lots of veggies? What is something you can do that is soulful and without an end result? It's not to fix something. It's not to manifest money. It's not to anything other than it's just to honor yourself. That is another way that we can really stoke our light and really focus on the light rather than focusing on the fixing. The other thing I want you to practice is choosing a self-compassion path whenever possible. So when something doesn't work, when you feel frustrated, if you start to feel unclear, if you start, saying to yourself, you're self-sabotaging or whatever, choose the path of self-compassion. Like almost like you've got tunnel vision, saying, it's okay that I did that. I have compassion for that. Now, what can we do to move forward? Or it's okay that thing didn't go as planned. Now, what's next? How can we move forward? It's okay that I ate a whole bag of chips or I didn't work out or I whatever. I have self-compassion for that. What was going on? I was feeling a little off. Okay, that's fine. What can we do from here? Just over and over and over, choosing self-compassion, choosing light when life is trying to tempt you into the darkness. When you start to feel pinchy or frustrated, have compassion for that frustration. Have empathy for that frustration. Breathe into it. Go for a walk and go, it's okay to feel this. Now, what do I need from here? And just keep reorienting back to the light. And the last thing that I want you to do on this journey is to celebrate yourself. You've heard people say it before. You've heard me say it. And you've gone like, okay, that sounds good. And then it maybe goes out of your brain. Celebrate yourself. Because that's part of the light, is seeing how far you've come. Seeing the ways that your light reflects out like a diamond. Seeing the smallest shifts as massive victories. Seeing the things that you're doing as good and evolving, and you're doing a good job and you're trying stuff and you're getting out there and every roadblock's a detour. It's okay. Let's celebrate it. Celebrate the things you do. Celebrate the time you go for a walk. Celebrate when you took your vitamins. Celebrate drinking water. Celebrate the smallest things because it builds momentum. It builds light within. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate others. Acknowledge yourself for this path. Acknowledge yourself for being somebody who carries the light because you've always known it. And maybe you've been told it, and maybe you know it now, or maybe you're hearing me right now and you're able to actually take a breath and go, oh my gosh, I am here for this. And yeah, life has been hard and I am deeply empathetic and I do want to help people and I am here for big things. Yes, celebrate that and celebrate all the shifts along the way. Acknowledging who you are. Stay in the light. And remember, your light isn't measured by how perfectly you grow or how much money you make or if you cured it or if you're there or if you're, in the manifestation. That doesn't mean anything when it comes to your light. It's measured by what you radiate, by what you know you're here for, by what's on your heart, by the way you respond to people, by the way you care, by the way that you are here for big things that uplift others. That is where your light is. Okay, I hope that this has nourished your soul. My love, you are here for such big things, and I deeply acknowledge you. And if you would like a little bit of help along the way, a little bit of clarity, a little bit of reflector energy, I have a 2-pack of sessions right now. I don't usually do smaller ones. Usually when people work with me, it's for a couple months, but it's called Clarity and Momentum Sessions. I'll pop the link below. It's a really great deal right now, really reduced in price to what it normally is for another few weeks. So I will put the link for that below. Clarity and Momentum Sessions, where we meet together twice over a week to really have you move forward in your path with your visions. Maybe it's your health or your abundance or your business or whatever it is that you are going through right now. We will help you to be clear and have momentum and add fuel to the fire and really get you moving forward from where you are. I'm so honored to be on this path with you. Thank you so much for choosing the Awakening Her podcast today, and I will see you in the next one.